There comes a moment when the version of you that was built for survival must die. The boy was necessary once. He carried the innocence that allowed you to dream, and the adaptability that allowed you to endure. But he also carried the hesitation, the fear of judgment, the craving for approval. The boy navigated the world by seeking permission, by believing that playing safe was the path to respect. Yet there is a ceiling to what a boy can claim in a world that belongs to those who rule. To rise, the boy must be buried, not in shame, but in gratitude. He served his purpose, but his tools will not win the battles ahead. The king cannot be born until the boy is laid to rest. The boy measures his worth through the eyes of others. He is distracted by their applause and wounded by their silence. The king moves without such dependency. He acts from a throne built within, a place immune to both praise and criticism. The boy fears the weight of responsibility. The king demands it. The boy avoids the storm. The king walks into it, knowing that his presence is the command that shapes the outcome. You cannot carry both forward. One hesitates, the other conquers. Until you release the boy, the king remains a shadow of what could be. The boy is reactive. He waits for the world to tell him when to speak, when to act, when to stand. The king is decisive. He speaks with the authority of someone who understands that hesitation costs more than risk. The boy fears failure as proof of inadequacy. The king sees failure as the toll paid for dominance. In every choice, the boy seeks safety. The king seeks territory. The transition is not comfortable. It is violent. It requires you to strip away every habit that kept you small, every excuse that made you comfortable in limitation. The boy's vision is narrow. He plans for the next day, the next week, the next season. The king's vision spans generations. He understands that every action today plants the seed for a future he may never fully see. The boy lives for immediate reward. The king builds legacies. The boy spends his energy defending his ego. The king spends his energy shaping reality. If you wish to rule your life, your business, your destiny, you must stop managing your image like a child and start moving your will like a sovereign. The boy seeks mentors who will protect him from the cost of his ambition. The king surrounds himself with allies who will sharpen him for war. The boy seeks comfort in being understood. The king understands that solitude is the price of authority. The boy will trade his position for acceptance. The king will lose everything before he surrenders his crown. This is not arrogance, it is clarity. The king knows the world respects strength only when it is sustained. The boy wastes his energy proving himself in every room. The king chooses his battles. Not every opinion is worth answering. Not every challenge is worth meeting. The boy is desperate to be liked. The king is willing to be misunderstood, if it means holding his ground. The boy defends himself against every attack. The king lets some arrows pass untouched because they cannot pierce him. This is how you conserve power for the battles that define kingdoms. The boy chases opportunity with the hunger of someone who believes it will run out. The king creates opportunity because he understands that the world bends to those who impose their vision. The boy waits for the right moment. The king makes the moment right. The boy needs a perfect set of circumstances to act. The king acts and forces the circumstances to align. You cannot ascend while waiting for ideal conditions. Power is claimed, not given. The boy fears change because it threatens the familiar. The king welcomes change because it expands his territory. The boy survives within the walls built for him. The king tears down the walls and uses the bricks to build his fortress. Every limitation the boy accepted becomes a tool for the king. Every loss the boy mourned becomes a lesson the king wields. Nothing is wasted when you claim your crown. The boy speaks of what he will do. The king speaks of what he has done. The boy asks for patience, the king demands results. The boy apologizes for his ambition. The king lets his ambition define him. This is the transition you must make. Not gradually, not someday, but now. You cannot serve two masters. You cannot be both the boy who hesitates and the king who commands. To kill the boy is not to kill your past. It is to strip it of the authority to dictate your future. The boy will always be a memory, a reminder of where you began. But the king must lead from here. The throne is not handed to those who wish for it. It is claimed by those who walk into the arena willing to lose everything except themselves. Kill the boy, let the king be born. And once he takes the throne, never let him step down.